Welcome to our Learn EB-5 video. This video provides a summary of the EB-5 program to U.S. project developers and sponsors seeking EB-5 investment capital. This information includes the rule changes that went into effect on March 15, 2022, with the passage of the EB-5 Reform and Integrity Act of 2022. Since we discuss many topics, and to help you easily jump to specific sections, we have organized the video into the following 10 sections. 1. Who is EB-5AN? 2. Overview of the EB-5 program. 3. How the EB-5 program works. 4. Why EB-5 is popular with project developers and investors. 5. Structuring an EB-5 project. 6. The role of EB-5 regional centers. 7. Create, buy, or affiliate with an EB-5 regional center. 8. Complete EB-5 project documentation. 9. EB-5 investors. 10. Conclusion and additional resources. 1. Who is EB-5AN? This video is presented by EB-5AN, one of the largest, fastest-growing EB-5 companies in the United States. As the owner and operator of more than 10 approved regional centers with a geographic coverage area of more than 20 states, we provide best-in-class services across all aspects of the EB-5 program, from project structuring to documentation. EB-5AN has been recognized by industry peers as one of the most innovative EB-5 companies in America. Out of more than 600 regional centers, we are the only owner and operator selected as a Medallion Solution Partner by JTC Americas, formerly known as NES Financial, a leading third-party financial services provider in the EB-5 industry. This partnership is a result of our leadership in the increasingly important area of EB-5 regional center compliance. In this video, we explain how the EB-5 program works, how most EB-5 projects are structured, and why the program is attractive for project sponsors, developers, and foreign investors. 2. Overview of the EB-5 program. Let's begin with the history of the EB-5 visa program and how it is administered by the U.S. government. Congress enacted the EB-5 program in 1990 to stimulate the U.S. economy through job creation and capital investment by foreign investors. In 1992, Congress enacted the Regional Center Pilot Program, also known as the EB-5 Immigrant Investor Regional Center Program. The program is temporary, and Congress must periodically renew it. It allows investors to qualify for EB-5 visas by investing through regional centers designated and approved by United States Citizenship and Immigration Services, or USCIS, based on proposals for promoting economic growth. The EB-5 program is a federal program administered by USCIS, which is a division of the U.S. Department of Homeland Security. Since its inception, the EB-5 program has expanded significantly. It is now the most popular visa category for foreign investors seeking expedited permanent residency. The program provides a direct way to obtain a permanent residence card, commonly referred to as a green card. To obtain a green card, foreign nationals must invest money in the United States, stimulate the U.S. economy, and directly create new jobs. 3. How the EB-5 program works. To obtain conditional permanent residence through the EB-5 program, a foreign investor must invest money in a new job-creating enterprise or EB-5 project in the United States that creates at least 10 new full-time jobs. For this to happen, the 10 newly created jobs must exist for at least 2 years, and detailed records must be kept verifying that this job creation has occurred. The minimum investment amount varies depending on the location of the EB-5 project. If the project is in a targeted employment area, or TEA, then the minimum investment amount is $800,000. If, however, the project is not in a TEA, the minimum investment amount is $1,050,000. A TEA is a USCIS designated rural area, or area with high unemployment. An area qualifies as a high unemployment TEA if its average unemployment rate is at least 50% greater than the national average. In addition to qualifying EB-5 investors for the lower investment amount of $800,000, TEA projects grant them access to set-aside visas. For investors from countries with EB-5 visa backlogs, set-aside visas may allow them to immigrate without extended delays. Public infrastructure projects may also qualify investors for the lower investment amount and for set-aside visas. To determine whether a specific area qualifies as a TEA, please visit our free TEA map at EB5AN.com. 4. Why EB-5 is popular with project developers and investors. For developers, the EB-5 program presents a rare opportunity to access below-market investment capital. It also makes projects possible that would otherwise be difficult to finance. But what makes EB-5 capital an attractive financing option? The goal of foreign nationals who invest in EB-5 projects is to obtain green cards. As a result, most investors will accept a lower financial rate of return on their investment. The lower cost of EB-5 capital, therefore, makes EB-5 financing an attractive alternative financing option. Everyone wins. Investors get green cards, project sponsors gain access to inexpensive capital, and the public benefits from new jobs and economic activity here in the United States. 5. Structuring an EB-5 project. So, now that you know a little about EB-5 and why it's a popular financing option, the next important question to answer is, how are most EB-5 projects structured? EB-5 investment projects are structured in two ways: as direct investments and as regional center investments. Since the vast majority of EB-5 projects are regional center investments, that's what we'll focus on in this video. An EB-5 regional center project's success depends largely on three factors. 1. Sponsorship by a USCIS-approved regional center. 2. A complete set of EB-5 compliant, project-specific offering documents. And 3. Eligible EB-5 investors. We'll discuss each of these elements next. 6. The role of EB-5 regional centers. EB-5 Regional Center designation is a USCIS license that allows the holder to sponsor EB-5 projects within a specific, approved geographic coverage area. Most EB-5 projects are structured as regional center investments because such projects receive favorable treatment of job creation. Specifically, an EB-5 project sponsored by a regional center may count the direct, indirect, and induced jobs that result from the development of the EB-5 project and the expenditure of EB-5 investment capital within the investment region. Direct projects, on the other hand, may only count the jobs created directly by the project. For regional center projects, job creation is usually calculated using official economic impact multipliers such as RIMS-2 or IMPLAN. These methodologies forecast the economic impact of expenses and revenues by industry. Multipliers allow economists to estimate the full impact of certain expenses and revenues by including all direct, indirect, and induced jobs that occur because of the project. For example, imagine a hotel project in Miami, Florida, in which the total hard construction cost is $25 million and the land cost is $20 million. The construction will create many jobs, not just for the workers on site, but also for all those employed by suppliers, transportation companies, and various other businesses that make the construction on the project site possible. Assume the RIMS-2 multiplier for hard construction spend in Miami-Dade County is 8 jobs for every $1 million spent. This multiplier includes all direct and indirect jobs from the construction of the project. Given these figures, we can estimate the project will create 200 EB-5 eligible jobs, assuming the project stays on budget and spends $25 million on hard construction costs and $20 million on land cost. This same framework is applied to hotel revenues. For verification of project job creation, the Regional Center provides receipts and invoices which must show USCIS that the projected expenditures and revenues actually took place so that each investor is credited with his or her 10 required jobs. Favorable job calculation and easier tracking and documentation are the main reasons most EB-5 projects are structured as Regional Center projects. To instantly estimate EB5 job creation for any potential EB5 project, please visit our free EB5 job calculator at EB5AN.com. Another unique benefit of regional center investments is the ability to pool funds from multiple EB5 investors. Pooling investors makes EB5 projects with larger capital needs possible. Direct investment projects, which operate without a regional center sponsor, may accept funds from only one EB5 investor. 7. Create, buy, or affiliate with an EB5 regional center. 3 options exist when structuring an EB5 regional center project. First, a project developer can apply for its own regional center designation, allowing it to sponsor projects. Second, the developer may choose to buy an existing regional center. Third, the project developer can affiliate with a regional center. Each approach has its pros and cons. For setting up a new regional center, the pros are that the developer owns the license outright and can sponsor an unlimited number of EB5 projects within the approved geographic area. The main downsides are higher upfront costs and long USCIS processing times for regional center approval, with no guaranteed outcome. For project sponsors that want complete control of the EB5 process and have a long-term pipeline of projects, creating a new regional center could be a good choice. Project developers may also choose to buy an existing regional center. Purchasing a regional center allows project developers to start raising EB5 funding relatively quickly and provides them with an established reputation in the EB5 industry. EB5 investors, immigration attorneys, economists, and other professionals may be more inclined to work with a regional center that already has a proven track record of successful projects. The cost to buy an existing regional center, however, may be high. Also, operating a regional center requires learning a specific domain of knowledge and skill set, which may prove challenging and increase risk. On the other hand, the benefits of affiliating with an existing EB5 regional center include an expedited EB5 fundraising timeline, lower upfront costs, and the benefit of working with an experienced and professional EB5 regional center operator who can provide guidance through the EB5 process. The cons are that normally the project developer must affiliate with a regional center separately for each EB5 project it pursues. Also, the total costs are likely to be higher in the long term compared to setting up a new regional center. 8. Complete EB5 project documentation. The second major component of an EB5 regional center project is a complete set of EB5 project-specific documents. These include the project's EB5 Matter of Hoe Compliant Business Plan, Economic Impact of Job Creation Report, Private Placement Memorandum, or PPM, Loan Agreement or Stock Purchase Agreement, and new Commercial Enterprise Entity and Manager documentation. Let's consider once more our hypothetical hotel project in Miami, Florida. With hard construction costs of $25 million and land costs of $20 million. Let's say the project will develop a new Marriott hotel in downtown Miami. The first document is the EB5 Matter of Hoe Compliant Business Plan. The business plan explains exactly how the proposed investment meets the criteria of the EB5 program. It also shows how EB5 investments will remain at risk and create the required 10 jobs per investor. The second document is the Economic Impact Report, which shows how the project's capital expenditures, in this case construction costs, and projected operating revenues will create enough EB5 jobs for the investors. We've already calculated that this project would create 200 jobs, so it can support a maximum of 20 EB5 investors, because 200 total projected jobs divided by 10 jobs per investor results in 20 investors. Looking at this form from a different perspective, the project, which costs a total of $45 million, can take on a maximum of $16 million of EB5 investment capital if it is in a TEA, or $21 million if it is not in a TEA. If the project raises less than the maximum amount of EB5 investment capital with fewer investors, then a surplus of jobs would exist. With a job surplus, each EB5 investor would be allocated more than the 10 jobs required by the program. For example, if the project site was in a TEA and only 10 EB-5 investors joined the project, then each EB-5 investor would be assigned 20 EB-5 eligible jobs, because 200 total projected jobs divided among the 10 EB-5 investors results in 20 jobs per investor. Projects with a job creation cushion, with more jobs assigned to each EB-5 investor than the minimum of 10, have lower immigration risk for EB-5 investors. The next document is the Private Placement Memorandum, or PPM. This is a disclosure document to potential investors summarizing the EB-5 transaction. It specifies the terms of the investment, the risks associated with the investment, and key information regarding the management and control of the EB-5 investment funds. Many projects use a partnership structure for the new commercial enterprise, or NCE. In our example, let's say the NCE is a limited partnership called EB-5 Hotel Fund Miami. Since the project is in a TEA, the minimum investment per investor is $800,000. If the partnership wants to raise $8 million, it would accept 10 limited partners, each an EB-5 investor who invests $800,000, and one general partner or manager of the fund. Each EB-5 investor subscribes as a limited partner to the fund and invests $800,000 plus any administrative fees, which are determined by the general partner. Then, once the EB-5 fund accumulates a certain amount of EB-5 capital, it makes a loan to or equity investment in the job-creating enterprise, or JCE. The JCE is typically the entity that owns the land and is also the entity responsible for the construction and development of the project. At the end of the investment period, the JCE repays the loan to the EB-5 fund, which then returns the investment capital and any accumulated returns to investors. Or, in the case of an equity investment, the investors can choose to sell or retain their individual stakes in the JCE. 9. EB-5 investor requirements. The final component of an EB-5 regional center investment is finding the desired number of EB-5 investors. To be eligible for the EB-5 program, an investor must be a foreign national who meets the immigration requirements determined by USCIS. For the purposes of the EB-5 program, an EB-5 investor is defined as up to an entire family unit. Therefore, an entire family, husband, wife, and children under the age of 21 at the time of application will be considered a single EB-5 investor. Consequently, only one investment is needed, no matter how many members of the immediate family are applying for green cards. EB-5 investments must be comprised of legally obtained funds, and investors must submit a documented source of funds accounting that shows the lawful source of the required capital. Many EB-5 investors receive capital gifts from parents and relatives, which they use for EB-5 investment. Using gifted funds is allowed, provided investors can provide proper documentation of where these funds originated. Investors must consult qualified immigration attorneys regarding these and other requirements under the EB-5 program. 10. Conclusion and additional resources. Thank you for your attention. We hope this brief overview has helped you gain a better understanding of the EB-5 program. To learn more about the EB-5 process, please schedule a free meeting with EB-5AN to talk about your individual needs. We also offer several useful EB-5 tools and resources. To check whether your project falls within a high unemployment TEA, check our national TEA map. Use our free EB-5 job creation calculator to instantly calculate the number of EB-5 eligible jobs your project will create. Before choosing an EB-5 project to invest in, be sure to review our EB-5 investment guide. For a detailed look at all aspects of the EB-5 program, download and read EB-5AN's official EB-5 guidebook. To simplify the due diligence process when assessing potential EB-5 investment projects, use our EB-5 Project Risk Investment Questionnaire. Learn about the services we provide through the EB-5AN Service Offering Summary. Finally, consult our EB-5 Regional Center database tool to search for regional center coverage in your area. We look forward to hearing from you soon.